Hello, everybody. Yeah.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah, we were sitting in next week's Q&A, wondering why no one was here. Thinking, hey, did we forget to put the
So
message
why
out?
is no one on? Then we realized it said healthcare, but that's
We will
next
tell
week.
you about next week's. It's big. It's huge.
Yeah. Some
Humongous.
new news.
Okay. Let's say hi. Who's all here, Megan? So I'm just bringing something up.
We got Brian and Maureen.
Hey guys, what are you doing?
See you guys. I'm
Way
sorry
over
I
there.
didn't get to meet you. Brian and Maureen came on tour with us. And I didn't get to meet them because I just saw the beaches. They didn't come to Boquete. And then they came this week and I was out with the stomach bug. And I didn't get to see them. I guess I have to come out to the beaches and see you guys.
They're very nice people. No,
they've
invited guests to their place now. See, that's how it works.
I know. We got Michael Henderson on. Hey, you guys. When are you coming back down? I know it's soon. I saw some other familiar names there. Let's see. We got some Heather in Alberta.
Hi, Heather. She is a brand new Panama Total Access member. Congratulations, Heather. We can't wait to have, as you know, okay, I love all our guests, but the Canadians are really special sometimes. So I'm going to be on your first Q&A whenever you book that with us, Heather. So, and of course, Oscar or Megan.
Yes.
It's available, or both. All right. So tonight, guys, we are having a general Q&A, and we are going to get started here very quickly because it's like 1 minute after 7, and we like to start on time. So the procedure here, for those of you who haven't yet, please, like many of you, please introduce yourself in the chat. Just say hi, and we'd like to know where people are from.
So the Dingmans, they're leaving Boquete tomorrow.
Oh, you guys are leaving, but they are back very soon.
Yeah.
And they're going to be living down the block from me, so I can just pop over there, and they're going to make me coffee and snacks.
Right. Mm-hmm. Joyce and Danny, they were on our last tour of the Highlands. And stayed a little extra time, found their rental for September, and it's right between where Rod lives and me and Oscar live.
Yeah, they're right in the middle. Yeah, sorry guys, we're coming over, and we're gonna have a happy hour or a
meet
coffee.
Your cat.
Oh, there. Now you guys are introducing yourselves. Hello. Hey, Raymond, Dustin, Dad, Caroline. There's so many. Look at all these new people. Hi, Belinda.
Rob and Lisa in Boquete.
Woo-hoo.
We got to get together soon, guys. Sorry, we were supposed to. They just got here this week. Like I said, I was sick.
Hey, Raymond, you're not late. We're not saying goodbye here. We're saying hello. So you're just right on time. Don't you worry about it.
We haven't started yet.
Hi, Elizabeth. You're coming in October, right on. Okay, so we are going to. We also, this is promoted on Facebook and stuff, and some people just click the link and join. We have people on here from Facebook and from YouTube, and they don't know who the heck we are. So, Megan, why don't you start, and you tell us who we are, and who we're missing. Are we missing anyone tonight?
I don't know. No. Maybe some guy, or the guy. So I'm Megan. And I'm our operations director. We are Retire in Panama Tours. I am originally from Pennsylvania, and my husband Oscar, he is leading a tour, starting our July 7-day tour right now. So that's why he's not here. But he's from Colombia, and we live in Boquete. I originally moved to Panama in 2018 and did a little service in the Peace Corps for a couple of years, did some really cool community projects in rural areas of Panama, learned a lot about the culture, and then met Oscar and decided to stay here. Now we have a little 2, almost 3-year-old, and spend a lot of our time helping expats move here and live the dream and the peace that is living in Panama. We love it. So we love to help you, whether it's a tour, whether it is our total access pass. That's what we do.
Right on. My name is Rod Larrabee. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and I moved here 13 years ago. Love it here, never going back. I moved here younger. I was in my younger than a lot, not as young as Megan. So I was in my late 40s, but now I'm that senior citizen jubilado guy. And when I first came here, I'm in this business for a simple reason. When I first came here, I did it by myself. I knew nobody. And I got tied up with some people who weren't really concerned about myself and got into some serious situations and some serious potential financial loss. And I was ready to go home after 3 months. I didn't know what to do. I ended up in Boquete, and I was with a friend, and I said, I need help. So we went to the owners of all these businesses in town that offer tours and services. And we said, I need help getting all this stuff done. I need help, with the car title. I need help with a driver's license. I need help with immigration. I needed so much help. And they would write down a name and send me off, send us off. And we did a couple of tours, got home that night. I took out all these business cards that they gave me, and they all said Oscar Pena, Oscar Pena, Oscar Pena. So I said, hey, this might be a good guy to be a business partner with. No, I didn't say that to begin with, but so I called him up. He fixed all my problems. He'd already been here for 3 years. Showing that we have been here like 13 to 15 years helping expats move here. And so we did become business partners within months. We opened a small tour company that did local tours. But what we found out, since we had an office, every day we had new expats walking in. Could you help us fix this? We need information on this. We need information on that. And we're thinking, okay. So we kind of started putting out all those fires. And then after a few years, we realized why don't we do something on a one-on-one basis with people, small groups. Let's start with 12 at maximum. And the maximum we go now is 16 folks. So we're still small groups. That way we can get them before they get here, make sure there's no problems. And when they are here, we're still here for them. We meet with our guests individually. We meet with them on Zoom before they get here to build their personalized checklist. Because if you downloaded the checklist from online, trust me, it's missing stuff. Because a checklist to move to Panama would be hundreds of pages long if you took 100 people, because everyone's checklist is different. Like what you have in the States, stuff like that. So this business we're doing now is why, what I really enjoy, because we no longer see people having problems that I had. So our products are simple. 7-day cross Panama tour. We'll take you to all these places across the country, stay in different places almost every night, and show you all the places expats like and everything in between. You'll meet locals from all those areas, and you'll meet the experts. You'll meet the immigration lawyers. You'll meet the insurance experts. You'll meet logistics people. We'll go over the banking details, what you need to get your driver's license. You'll get all that stuff. And then you get every single thing that I just said on the 3-day Cherokee Highlands tour, but we go to less places. We concentrate on Boquete, Volcan, David, and every single thing in between. And then our other product is for those of you who just can't take a tour, or you don't want to take a tour, or you've been here before, you already know, is our Panama Total Access Pass. With this, you get a complete members area online guide with everything, every contact we've gained in the last 15 years. You get a book, yes, a physical book. I always point to it. Oh, it's way over there. Okay, we're not going to show you. It's a big book. It's almost 500-page hardcover book, which really is more for the learning about Panama. And the book is broken down into 64 different chapters, basically 64 sections you'll need to make the move. And then it'll explain the context of, let's say, banking in Panama. And then it'll tell you to check your members area for all the best banks in Panama with all the contact information. So, and then it includes what's unique about our online book. It's not just online. You get us, okay? you get Oscar, Megan, and Rod. You get the experts. You'll get to do a personal Zoom with us, so you can. So we can help you build that checklist. If you buy the platinum, you'll have multiple Zooms with us throughout your moving process, and you'll have our WhatsApp numbers within 30 days of moving here, so you can text us questions whenever you have them to make that move successful. So those are the offerings we have, and we're quite excited about them all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this new Total Access Pass is super exciting because we had so many people that for some reason couldn't do a tour, or we were booked up and they were ready to move now.
Or they did a tour years ago and they still want the assistance. Like you saw the prices there, guys, $497, and we're gonna every email that's answered in the Panama Total Access Pass is answered by one of the three of us here in Panama, and we have 30 years experience helping expats move here, so you get the priority support.
And our members area has a huge Rolodex of experts and professionals throughout the country.
Yeah, I'm logged in. Usually I delete this out of the YouTube video, so hang tight. Once you're logged in, you'll have a little thing here that says members area on the website, and then you'll see. I gotta go fast because I can't give away all our secrets. Yeah, these are all the different sections. Oops. There are many, many different sections. Everything you would need to know about moving to Panama. And anything really small that isn't in there, you just quickly send us an email and we get back to you usually within 8 hours.
Yeah, for sure. And a common question we get is, if we come on the tour, do we get this? And yes.
Oh, yes.
Of course.
If you book the tour, you automatically get the Panama Total Access Pass Platinum for free. So you already get the third part when you book a tour. You always have. But just having the convenience of the members area saves that time of reaching out. Hey, can you introduce me to the best insurance person? I'm in Boquete. Well, just go to the members area, click a few buttons, and and they know where you're from. So, okay. So we have one more announcement to make before we start answering your questions. This is now, thank you for the questions in the chat. We're going to stop chatting in the chat and answer only questions. And so questions only in the chat from this point, please. Thank you. And if you want to come on live, we can bring you into the studio. You're gonna have to share your mic and if possible your video. Just type the word live and ask your question live. So start typing those questions. But next week we have a very unique healthcare. You guys know we do healthcare. This is a really expanded healthcare Q&A. We're gonna have we're gonna start off with a special guest, Mike Kelly from Pacifica Salud Hospital. That's the John Hopkins Hospital in Panama City. Now he's going to talk about veterans benefits because they direct bill TRICARE, FMP, and CHAMP. And he's also going to talk about the new direct billing service for Medical Advantage. And then we're going to interview a Medicare Advantage expert from the US. Not one from here, okay, not a retired one. I'm talking to someone who does this as a living, who is a professional, who understands how it actually works here in Panama. And this is a 3-part because we're going to talk about the hospitals, Veterans Affairs, direct billing. We're going to talk about if you should be using Medical Advantage in Panama or not. And then we're going to talk with a wonderful Panamanian gal who is our insurance expert. She represents a very large Panamanian company that represents every international and local health insurance company you can imagine. So you're going to hear for all 3 of those. Now, there's no registration required here, but if you want to get here, I do apologize. I was going to have that link sitting here ready. Yep. I just have to go to a logged out version, Q&As. I'm going to copy this link into the chat. You can click on it and you can add it to your calendar. Now, if you're not on our email list because you came from Facebook or somewhere else, please join our email list. You're going to get an email 2 a week. So what? You're going to learn lots. And we will send you a reminder a few hours before the call. or just put it on your calendar, add to calendar with that link I just posted, and you will be on that call.
There's going to be so much good info on that.
There's
really
going to be a lot of people. We
clarifying.
could get overfilled on the call, but we'll see. I think we upped it to 1,000 people for that call. So
yeah, and I think we might need to block off an extra 30 minutes just in case, because so many people get confused about healthcare. What are their options? Advantage.
I'm sure we're going to get questions, so we might even get into a little bit of it here. So
great.
All righty. So let us go through the questions. I'm just skipping through the beginning chat to make sure we don't miss anything. So work with me. Yell if you see something.
I think that big one was the first one. There it is.
There we go.
From Alvi, quick question. My American wife, 68, and I, 77, U.S. resident since 1990, plan to retire soon. We're interested in a 3-bedroom home near Boquete, Cherokee. Also, can we sponsor our 2 non-U.S. sons for Panamanian residency? Do you handle these legal processes?
Okay, Alvi, congratulations on thinking of the move and having a wife so much younger than you. It's so nice. No, I'm just kidding you, Elvie. Let's look at immigration. You guys are obviously retired. Immigration is a no-brainer. Pensionable visa under like $1,500 each, well under $3,000. You are permanent residents for life. But unless your children are under 18 or enrolled in a Panamanian university till 25, which, in this case, that's not the truth. You cannot sponsor your children on a visa here. It doesn't work like that. They would have to get visas of their own, or you would have to go a different route, like a friendly nations visa by investment, and bring your children in that way. Friendly nation visa requires, if you're looking, I said that because you said you're looking for a 3-bedroom home. We don't recommend people buy right away. You do know you're from the U.S. probably. You can stay here for 180 days. You can get a feel of a neighborhood and stuff like that. But if you do a $200,000 investment, each dependent, which has to be an immediate family member, is another $5,000. So with a $220,000 investment, you can bring the whole family down. Mm-hmm. Now,
although it might be more affordable to do you and your wife as pensionado, and then your kids on a friendly nations visa.
Yeah, or you could do it that way too, because with the kid, the house or you can also do money in a bank for that. Could be in their name, but you got to think too, what are they going to do here? Now, I don't know how old they are.
Or if they're remote workers.
Yeah, but if they're, there's some other options. But what I think you should do here, we do have some great lawyers that we work with.
There are a variety of options, but it really depends on your specific situation, what your kids do, how old they are. So yes, you would want to connect directly with a Panamanian immigration attorney. So Rod's going to pop the link in the chat if you want to be connected with our best referral. There are a lot of good lawyers.
But make sure you explain yourself, Ali. Write the whole situation down, how old the kids are, and what you're expecting. They just can't come here and work because there's no jobs available for English, a
lot fewer options if they're not bilingual.
Yeah, exactly.
But they could work potentially remotely.
Or if you guys started a company, stuff like that. But there's a lot of options. But we need, more than we can answer on a Q&A. But we're willing to, if you're willing to share the information, we're willing to connect you to the right person.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Deborah. How are you? Want to read the question, Megan? I want to bring up
cost of insurance that is required for a 78-year-old woman.
Okay.
So you're going to have a little bit more limited options because over 70 or 75, really only local plans might be your option. But we'll really get into that next week on the Q&A. But Rod, I'm assuming you're pulling up maybe a
I am, but
fam.
what my eyes aren't working tonight. Why does it
Well-
not say healthcare?
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to bring up a brochure.
Mhm.
Okay, there are two options for you as far as when you're over 75. If you enroll in international life insurance before you're 75, you can have it forever. But they don't enroll you after you reach 75. So there are local health insurance. There are two offered depending on where you settle. If you're in Panama City, one is at, I want to say Santa Fe. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, one is at Santa Fe, and then in Cherokee Province, one is in Cherokee Hospital and May Lewis Hospital. So I have the brochure in front of me, which I'm going to expand so you can all see. For family medical, this is in Cherokee Province, and you can see the rates here. Again, I'll expand them so you can see. Oops. So if you look at 70 to 79, they're looking at 125. But this is a copay type of insurance. It is not a full 100% coverage like most of the international ones. So this one, you're going to pay 30% of the hospital bill in the private hospitals, in the good hospitals, and the hospital takes care of the 70. And once you hit 80, that will go up drastically to 180. But once you're in again, you stay in. But once you're over 75, they get a little more picky about pre-existing conditions and a bit stronger medical and stuff like that. But this is about what's available. Now we're going to talk about, make sure you join us, Deborah, next week, because we're going to talk about how medical advantage can work if it works for you. You're willing to possibly go back to the States once in a while, like, go back to your home zip code or go visit, how it could work here for you for emergencies. Although you might want to look at a plan like this for general health, because this covers everything from 30%. You walk into a doctor's office, a doctor's visit in Cherokee Hospital is $25. You're going to pay eight and a quarter.
Yeah, or a specialist
especially
is
75,
80 or...
you're going to pay 25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's everything. It's 25%. 30% that you pay. So
to support with your basic care here. Elizabeth, if I want to come and rent an apartment for 3 to 6 months, what visa do I need? Well, you don't really need a visa because if you're from North America. If you're from the US or Canada, you can stay on a tourist visa for 180 days. Now, if you're planning to stay every year for 3 to 6 months, then it might make sense to get the visa, especially if you are receiving a pension, lifetime pension, that is over $1,000 a month for a single or $1,250 for a couple, then, and you have assets here, you're spending a lot of your year here, then it makes sense. Because one of the tricky parts of spending that much time here without having residency is that you might not be able to open a bank account, at least legally, you shouldn't be able to. And then also you can only drive for 90 days. That's because most tourist visas for all the other countries that come to Panama, they can only drive for 90 days and they can only stay for 90 days. So it might make sense for you to get a visa, but it really depends on what your options are. If you have a pension, it's super easy to get it. It would make sense. If not, then...
Yeah. First, Elizabeth, like some of the pros of the visa, like depending if you're single or married, so it's like $2,000 to $3,000. One time, it's permanent for life. You save 25% on your air travel, 25% at restaurants, 50% on your $5 movie ticket is now $2.50.
The pensionado discounts in Panama are
you pay. So you will, like, if you come back and forth every year, within your second, third year, you will have paid your visa off in savings. It also allows you to travel one way. If you don't have a visa, you always have to buy your return ticket. and sometimes you don't know the exact date you want to come back. So this way with a visa, no, you have a visa, and you get the quick line in immigration.
Yes, you skip that tourist line and go straight to the resident line.
Yeah, that's the best part of the whole thing, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of depends on your situation. If you haven't been here before, definitely come check it out first.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, this is back to LB giving us some more insight. They have worked remotely 19 years. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Let me send you, yes, please.
Yeah.
And also, LB, I just want you to know on the same website, if you look at the more button on the menu, you'll see book a 30-minute Q&A. See what I don't have a lot of slots open next week, but I came here working remotely. That's what I did for a living. If you guys wanted to have like a group phone call for some questions, I could dedicate 30 minutes to you. No obligation, nothing. And, I just like to, that's what we're here for, to help people out. And there are some other options for them here too, that would work good around your Friendly Nations visa.
And could be a lot of advantages too. Better for your wallet.
Okay. Lee read somewhere yesterday that the 180-day travel exemption was reduced to 90 on July. No, that's not true, Lee. It's all kinds of rumors. But by the way, we got to really watch it, Lee. The only U.S. and Canada get 180 days. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, half of the world got 180 days, and they reduced them all back to 90. But U.S. and Canada, and they for about 3 weeks they reduced U.S. and Canada. Then it was the uproar because all of us, many U.S. and Canadians have condos here, and we spend half a year here.
Yes. So there's so many retirees that spend their winters here that it makes sense for Panama to extend it to them because they're just spending their pensions here. They're not competing for jobs. No, they're just bolstering the economy. So no, that we don't see any change to that happening.
So what the number one thing to remember, Lee, I don't know where you saw this, but this is my general rule. If you saw it on Facebook, consider false first. Before you don't consider any of it was true. It's ridiculous, the stuff you see there. This is a great question. Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Kathy. If you have a pension on a visa, how do you request discounted airfare? Can you get that with temporary or only permanent? Is it only for COPA or will United honor?
That's great. The law is pretty simple. Any airline that has an office in Panama and flies out of Panama must allow it. Every single airline has a different procedure.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, your best bet is possibly, if you don't know what airline, is a travel agent here in Panama that knows how to do it. But number one, Kathy, I think that should be in your members area, and I added it a couple days ago. And if it's Copa Airlines, it's very simple. Mm-hmm. You put, and oh, by the way, yes, it should be a permanent. Some airlines absolutely require a permanent visa. They will reject you if it's temporary. But Copa seems to be a little flexible. You can try them. But you book the flight online, but instead of paying, you hit the 24-hour reserve. Then you pick up the phone and phone Copa and explain, I have this flight reservation number on hold. I am now a pensionado. I would like to register. Then they'll put you through a one-time procedure where they're going to ask you to email all this stuff to an email address. And it only takes a couple hours, and then you got to phone back, and they'll give you your discount and process your credit card over the phone. They're the easiest.
Many United flights you can book through Copa because they are Star Alliance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'll want to look at the price difference because sometimes there is a little bit.
Yeah, like if you're flying to Houston, just go to Copa and book it and select Houston, and then put it on hold. You'll get your discount easily.
But
otherwise, you're going to the United office in Panama City.
Yes, but know that even if you're booking through Copa at check-in, you're still going to the United counter because it's a United flight.
Yeah, but it's just because they're Star Alliance. So okay. Hey, Albie. We do rock. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
if we have the temporary visa, we can still use the shorter line to immigration.
It was such a good feeling when I got mine. It was 12 years ago because it's a busy airport, especially if you're in December through April. Where like it's crazy. Like you see there's 1,000 people waiting for those two guys, and then there's two ladies that know, okay, let's go over there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's never any wait at the resident line.
Uh-oh, I let the cat out of the bag. Okay, I'm not posting the link. You guys have to work for it. I posted our website. On the More tab, you'll see book a call. A call. Now, you can book ahead. Next week, we're on tour, so you won't see any availability Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But later in the week, you will.
Ashley, flying into PTY from the U.S. next week. Awesome. On average, how long does it take to clear customs? This time of year, it should be pretty quick.
You've been flying more than me, so what's been your experience the last 2 years?
Well, I'm a resident, so
oh yeah, that's right.
The resident line.
But I always look at the bigger line.
That long. Like even as a tourist, I never spent more than 20 minutes in the immigration line in Panama City. I mean, that would be the most. So, and then customs, there's rarely a line. It's super quick. If you get through immigration really quick, you might have to wait for your baggage a little bit. That's typically the only time I have to wait.
Like it's not really like a Houston, Atlanta, LA thing. I spent an hour plus in those lines.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually, so many people use Panama as a connecting point. So even though there's so many people on your flight, some people might not be staying in Panama.
Okay. Great question, Elizabeth. Let's talk about moving personal belongings, Megan. Pictures, dishes, books. Yeah. I'll start off. First of all, most people, not all, and it doesn't matter. We're not offending you. Most people don't bring their furniture and stuff and appliances. I never recommend our guests bring our appliances because the power is a different hertz cycle here. You're going to burn them out in no time. And especially if you have new ones, there's no warranty or no one's going to be able to fix them because honestly, a Frigidaire fridge made for the States is not the same model as we have here. So that's the problem we have with appliances. Get into a bit, Megan, small packages, there
are some companies that will pack for you. I feel like art, pictures, really like sentimental items are the biggest things that people choose to bring with them.
Yeah.
A few other big things that we hear about often are kitchenware. If you're big into cooking, tools.
Yeah.
And also like sheets and bedding and maybe mattress or pillows, but pillows and sheets, even like now we have Amazon that delivers here too. So it's changing a little bit, but it used to be a little bit difficult to get like really high quality sheets or mattress, but it is becoming more.
Yeah, it's coming better. Or you'd have to go to Panama City to some of the real high-end stores. And here's the difference. If they're importing sheets from Italian wool and stuff like that, they're only importing like 20 to 50 at a time, where U.S. stores are importing thousands, so they're getting a better price. But but what we do, maybe the best way to explain it, Elizabeth, is what we do with our clients. After a tour, they're coming here or they bought the access pass, they're moving here. We have this Q&A. Okay, what are we moving? And then we give suggestions and stuff, and they say, okay, we got 6 boxes full of bedding, towels, this and that. And we got 6 boxes full of our tools and kitchenwares and stuff like that. Okay, we're going to give you the connections. Those are going to go to 2 different places. One's going to go to a sea freight company that charges by cube, and one's going to go to a sea freight company that charges by the pound. And you're going to ship those out. But if you got bigger stuff like palletization and stuff, we can get involved with people here that will find a local person for you, come over to your house, bring the pallet, put everything up there, shrink wrap it, hoist it away, and ship that off to usually Florida, and it'll end up here. But there's every single person we've dealt with, we found out it's a different solution.
It is, because I would say the majority are fine with a few suitcases
Yeah.
and maybe a few boxes.
Yeah, a few boxes.
But I would say like maybe people that have like really maybe luxury furniture and items, they feel like it was worth it to bring their container worth of goods, because they wouldn't have gotten all of their household worth of goods here for that same price or even like the same quality. So it really depends on you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What cities are the best for a retiree? We should probably explain the city dynamic.
Yeah. So like as far as city in North America, the only comparable option you'll have for that here is Panama City, the capital.
Like a mini Miami.
Yeah.
Not even that many anymore.
And, almost half of the population of Panama lives in that metropolitan area, the Panama Canal.
Panama has 4 million people, 2 million live in greater Panama City.
Yes. So the second largest city is David, which is the capital of Chiriquí, the province where we live. And we live in Boquete, which is 30 minutes away from David. But it doesn't feel too city-like. I mean, the highest buildings are maybe a few hotels that are 5 stories.
It's more like Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. And I know 3 people on this call that are laughing at me right now. Like, seriously, there's like 7 traffic lights in a city of 160,000 people. It's very Panamanian, Latin American. So like Megan said, there's no high rises and there's lots of, open, like little places where the guys sit around, like the retired guys are on the bus benches and the
open markets.
Open markets.
But plazas too. It's just a mix of everything. So if you're looking for city life, Panama City is the best option. Even some of like if you want beaches outside of Panama City, Coronado area, they have some like nice amenities available. And then if you're looking at just the best expat towns in the country, then we're going to hit all of those on our 7-day tour, the most popular ones. So that would give you a really good overview.
Good. I don't know what this window is, but okay. All right. Linda, information about bringing pets. New law, Linda. There are no more pets allowed in Panama. And I said that to someone. They were really upset. I'm teasing. We love pets.
And Rod's your guy.
And I am your guy. I'm just going to explain something here. Just having a little computer glitch.
Unless you get a cat, because he's mad we got a cat.
Yeah. My dogs won't like your cat. Sorry.
He won't pet sit our cat. Only our dog.
I'm allergic to cats, like deathly.
But he'll still move them here. He has a heart.
There we go. Now, we have moving pets on our website, retiringpanamatours.com. You can view this article I wrote. I keep updated, but things change all the time about how to move your pets here. Now, it is not for the faint of heart. And if you're in the middle of a move, I don't recommend being bothered. We offer a service, $350 for your first pet, $100 for each additional pet, that we will basically run the show for you, tell you where you need to be. And I just put a link in the chat. Okay. Usually there's more than one chat. Don't know why. Yeah. And basically 10 days before, you need to see a USDA or a Canadian certified vet and to fill out a health certificate. The dog must already, or the dog or cat dogs must already have had all their vaccinations within the 30 days, like the rabies, the DAPP, the leptospirosis. So those all have to be done. And then the USDA CFI vet will fill in the health certificate, file it electronically. You'll get it back a couple of days later. You'll send it to a U.S. consulate for authentication. They will send it back to you, and then you will board your flight within 10 days. So that's the process. It's like I say, it's not really for the faint of heart, but many people do it yourself. The instructions I just put in the chat, you can do it yourself. But if you want help, there's a link in there also to request assistance. Okay, I was wondering, and we're going to have a pet relocation Q&A when Megan and Oscar go to Seattle for Megan's brother's wedding.
Yes. So in August, Ron will do a pet relocation Q&A for you guys.
Hey, Sharon, totes are not the most friendly customs product. Heavy corrugated boxes are. Now, we've seen totes get delayed because customs don't want to deal with them. Because especially you put a lock on them, well, forget it, they're breaking it. And then, people are going to scream because they didn't tape them properly. Heavy corrugated 4 and 6 cube boxes. Because your pallet is 4 by 8 actually. You can actually go 8 feet high in these pallets. And so the best is the heavy corrugated shipping boxes. I know a lot of people use totes. You can, but the most friendly for shipping is on a pallet because it all gets shrunk wrap. Once it's on there, it's shrunk wrap. But if it gets to Panama and it's a tote and they see a lock on it, they put it aside and they wait for the supervisor who might not be until next Thursday because he's got to open that. So we've seen delays on totes. I know my buddies on Mailbox, etc., and they see freight. Don't use totes. Don't lock your product. Get it on a pallet, shrink wrap it tight. No one can get into it. Properly tape up the boxes and you'll be good.
Julian, are you familiar with their process reference American nationals for purposes of domiciling there?
I gotta read that too. Are you familiar with the process reference American nationals? Hey, Julian, I'm sorry. We're going to have to get you to rephrase that question.
Yes, please.
A little bit lost on that.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one. Dustin, could you please provide a link to the brochure for health insurance in Cherokee?
I don't have a link. I don't have it posted on the website. I pulled it off my computer. But Dustin, if you go to our website, I posted the link many times. Just click on any of the links in the menu and you'll see contact. Just request it.
Yeah, just send us an email. We'll send it to you.
I didn't hear much about visa costs. Yeah. And can you move to Panama without a visa? Well, we talked about the pensionable visa.
Yes.
2,000 to 3,000, depending if you're a single or a couple. But you can stay here. You can't move to Panama without a visa. That would be like someone moving to the U.S. or Canada without a visa. You just can't do it. You can stay here for 180 days.
The law is that at the end of the 180 days, you're supposed to fly out for 30 days.
Yeah.
And then you can come back in and reset. Now, they are pretty flexible at the air border. Typically, if you fly out for a few days, a week, and come back, it will reset, no problem.
But you can't do that forever.
Right.
Yeah. You could do that once, probably.
Well, you're still figuring it out, deciding. Yeah. Sure.
But there's no guarantees on that. We can't sit here and guarantee they're not going to say, well, no, why don't you get a visa?
And there are some cons to it.
So really, like the cost of Virginia, a single 2,000, maybe 2,500. And when I say a cost, I'm not saying the cost for the lawyer. I'm saying the cost for the process, because it's much more than a lawyer. There's translations involved. There's the Visa card itself, the plastic card. They're like $50 now. So for a couple, that's $200 because you get a temporary and a permanent. Mm-hmm. You get another stamp in your card. That's like $50. No, I think it's $100 now. So yeah, the entire cost under $2,500 for a single, slightly under $3,000 for a couple. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jack.
I'm 83 in very good health on Medicare, but I'm sure health insurance will be a problem.
Yes, once you're reaching that age, it's a challenge. We've recently had somebody 81 get accepted by that medical coverage I just showed you here. There's certainly no guarantees, Jack. You're as long as you keep an open, an opening back home, like whether you have someone to go back to or something, because if you have a good medical advantage, come on a call. Not all of them are the same. Not all of them are good. You can be covered here during your emergencies, but you need to be getting some treatment back at home too. And then if you do have something that's non-emergency that has to be looked after, you'd have to fly home for it. As far as seeing a doctor here, honestly, Jack, a doctor's visit. Let's say you moved to Boquete, and you were on one of our tours or bought one of our products. I would personally take you over to meet Dr. Gomez, my favorite doctor in Boquete, and on day one you would have a family doctor. The visit would be $15. So, and then if Dr. Gomez says, "Hey, I'm going to X-ray your chest," just go down the block and get an X-ray. That would be $18, and you would leave with the X-ray. Well, no, it's on a CD, I think.
You take it right back.
Yeah, and you walk it back to the doctor for him to look at it.
Yeah.
So medical system, medical care is different here. Yeah.
Right. If you want to talk about advantage, definitely hop on the call next week and we'll get into that.
We recommend, we're going to go into this next week, obviously. Medicare Advantage is great for you part-timers here. Excellent. And for some people who just can't get international health insurance because of your age or pre-existing conditions, there are options to use it here, but you always have to remember it's only for emergencies. If you're not feeling well and you go to the doctor and he says you need to see a heart specialist, and the heart specialist says you need to have a heart stent put in, I recommend you do it in the next month or two. That's not an emergency. You're flying home for that. Yeah, no hospital's going to cover you for that because it's not an emergency. But if you're brought into the hospital in an ambulance or in the back of a station wagon or a pickup, they're going to look after you.
Yeah, but you can also look at the cost of what it would be to get that in your closest private hospital, the cost versus traveling back, possibly renting a place, getting that care there, and then coming back. It might be comparable because medical care is a lot more affordable here.
Yeah. Okay. One who is a non-citizen but an American by way of birthright.
He's trying to
operates
clarify.
and trust via the estate. Yeah, let's do this by email, Julian. I think it's better. You got to explain. It's going to take more than a sentence to explain what you're saying here. Mm-hmm. If you're a non-citizen but is American, by what? Yeah. Well, you might not. Maybe you were born there but never lived there. But yeah, so we're going to need more details because we don't know what you're asking about. Like, are you looking to move here? What happens there? Because many non-U.S. folks move here. Like, you don't have to be, U.S. to move here.
Yeah, we need more details.
Dustin, it's the insurance in Cherokee for staying tours up to $180. Not a really good idea because every time you come, you have to apply. And it takes 30 to 45 days to get approved.
Right.
Yeah, they don't. If you're only here 180 days, you should have travel insurance.
You can't get Panamanian insurance without Panamanian residency.
Yes, you can get this type of insurance without Panamanian residency.
Oh, the family care plan.
Yeah, the family care.
Oh, okay.
But it takes 45 to 60 days to get you approved. You have to see a doctor every time if you're over 55, I believe it is. So what you need is a good medical travel insurance, and come next Thursday because several hospitals in the country are now even accepting travel insurance from companies, like actually billing them. So. Okay. I didn't see that question.
Elizabeth, did you answer any questions about process for a bank account? Can you link it to a U.S. bank?
Oh, yeah. No, Elizabeth, Panama banks have nothing to do with U.S. banks. It's a totally different system. It's no different than banking in U.S. and banking in China. That's how far apart the two systems are. So there's no linking them together, but you can get money here. So if you open up a Panama bank, you go to your U.S. bank, you log in, go to international wire transfer, and you put in all the right details, and you send $5,000 to your Panama bank, and then you receive less than 5,000 because there's a bunch of fees. So, but yeah, the banks have nothing to do with each other here. So you can't, what's it called? Zelly?
You can't Zelly, you can't Venmo.
No, you can't Venmo someone in Panama.
You
They don't
can
have Venmo.
PayPal, but it's not the same thing. There's
It's
going to
totally
be
different
fees
thing,
involved.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, but if you come through us, we're going to make sure you get set up in the most cost-efficient way to move your money here.
There we go. Good
Luisa,
question.
how can I keep my U.S. phone number? Very important. Yes, you can keep it. Our typical recommendation is that you set it up with a app that will, where you'll port your number. Well, you're US, so it would be typically Google Voice. You'll port your phone number. This has to be set up in the US.
Yeah.
And you'll cancel your plan right before you make the move. And then you will come down here. You'll get all of your calls through the Google Voice app. But when you call and text out, it will just come through as a regular call and text to people in the US. They won't need that app the same way that WhatsApp needs to be downloaded on everyone's phone in order for them to use it. So you can use it free besides the porting fee. And then you would just get your plan in Panama on Tigo or Mas Movil. Those are our biggest providers in Panama. And they're amazing plans. Like I have Tigo, it's $27 a month plus tax is like $30 a month. And with that, I have unlimited data and international roaming throughout the Americas for free. So I travel back to the US and I don't need to change a SIM card or anything.
Yeah.
I have
Great
better
plans.
service than my parents where they live.
I'm going to answer the question, Louisa, because this is one of the things. Okay, Facebook drives me nuts. Okay, I see people posting and giving horrible answers. Now, you guys know we run a business here, right? So on my little phone here, I have a Panama SIM card. My plan is $22 a month because I don't travel as much as Megan and Oscar. So I don't travel to the US as much as Megan and Oscar. So I don't need that roaming thing. So I pay $22 a month. And I have a US number and a Canadian number. And my total amount I pay for all that stuff is $23.50 a month. My Google Voice is the US number, which we run this company off of. It was the first number. Now we all have Google Voice numbers because they're all free. So what the heck? And it's what we run our company on and stuff like that. Then I have a Canadian number through, it's called Fongo, Fongo. Just wanted to have a Canadian number. My nieces and nephews can phone me for free, right? So, so I have that, and then I have my Panama number. I only have one SIM card because the Fongo and Google Voice just work off data. And my phone, when I'm outside of the Wi-Fi, my Tigo for $22 gives me phone service. Data.
Yeah. We still have even people who came on tour with us that we keep telling them.
Yeah.
They go back and spend a few months. They have grandkids in the States. And they just, it's just easier for me to keep my US
I
plan.
keep my US phone. We only pay $75 each per month.
You don't need to do that.
You don't.
We promise you can save tons of money and keep a fantastic plan here and keep your US number.
Okay. Hey, Dustin, we'll get back to you. Hey, thank you. You're only 45. Hey, great deal. So you can apply for that plan, and I don't think you're going to need to see a doctor at all. So they could probably set it up for you within a week or two. Just let them know ahead of time. Any international plans, you have to be a resident. But for that family care plan, no, you can use that. So,
but you could also, if you decide,
it would be cheaper than travel.
Yes.
Did you see the rates, Dustin? You're $108 a month.
Mhm.
But then again, it's only $50,000 coverage. I know for you U.S. folks that sounds horrible, but you can get an entire, probably get your foot amputated for less than that.
Yeah, especially for a young
yeah,
person.
yeah,
Should
exactly.
be plenty
Yeah,
in
it should
Panama.
be plenty. Okay. How easy it is to rent for 6 months?
Um,
No.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So long-term rentals are the shortest they'll do is 6 months. Anywhere from 6 months to 12 months, a rentals agent will work with you to find that.
The most I've ever been asked for is a 1 month bank statement from a like being a foreigner from a local here looking to rent. Typically, they look at I haven't used this in a long time. They look at you and they say gringo bingo, like they're not going to have to worry about the money at all. This is a foreigner, so there's no credit checks involved or anything like that.
No.
They don't have access to any of that stuff. So they're just happy that you're going to rent their place and pay your rent for your 6 months. As
They'll
long
want
as you work
one
out
month
that term.
deposit
Yeah, they want 1 month
and your
deposit.
first month's rent.
Yeah. Okay, that's getting through. Can you use Yappy? Well, you'd have to have a
No.
Banco General account active. So
No.
yeah, Yappy is part, and you don't need Yappy, guys. All these, like it's silly. I don't know if you knew this, Megan. This is new, but all banks, all the major banks in Panama, like 25, 30 of them, all we have ACH Express now, up to $5,000. Most of the banks are now free. But Banco General's charging 50 cents because they want people to use Yappy. But so I could sit here and send, and all I got to do is log into online banking, click on Megan's pretty little face there because you got all the profiles, and send her $1,000. She would have it in a
Let's
second.
show them.
No, we're not. Okay, we're not doing that. Okay, send them. I can send Oscar $1. Then he's going to call. What's this dollar for? One way to get Oscar on the call. But yeah, so that's what everyone uses here. It doesn't matter what bank you're with. We have Zelle and Venmo basically for free within our banking system.
Yes. If you have Panama banking, you can do that. I mean, maybe if for some reason you're a special tourist and you got a Panamanian bank account at Banco General, then maybe you have Yappy, but generally no.
Okay, let's take one of the last questions here.
Terry.
From Terry. Okay, Terry.
Are there volunteer
Yes, I have a garage down below here, and my car is built. No, I'm just kidding.
If you even whisper that you're interested in volunteer opportunities,
you'll be
Boquete,
surrounded.
Yes, they will flock.
Yeah,
so many good opportunities here. So many great organizations. We have Rotary. We have Buenos Vecinos, which is the good neighbors. They help out the most vulnerable in the community. We have the people that do the free neuter and spay clinics for all the animals in Boquete and surrounding areas. We have Boquete Health and Hospice, which is an incredible organization that loans out for free all sorts of medical equipment when people need it. They also do these preparing for end of life seminars in Panama for foreigners to get together their wills and packets of information that would be important to have in English and Spanish in case of emergency, and many more.
Yeah. Did you know, now that you mentioned that, sorry for interrupting, but in our Panama Total Access Pass, we have that complete section of once you're moved here, what to do with your wills, your healthcare directive, and all stuff like that. I just had to throw that.
Yeah. Yeah, Boquete Health and Hospice put that together, and it is amazing info. Really important if you're moving here.
So we are signing off quickly here. I wanted to put this in one more time into the chat, the link for the Q&A. If you scroll down, you'll see today's is still there. But if you click on tomorrow's, so you click on it, you can click here, add to calendar. And you can choose your Apple, Google, Office, whatever calendar, and you're going to be reminded next week. Now, if for some reason you don't have add to calendar, just scroll on this page, or you can go here. You can enter your first name. I don't care if you put Bob, John, whatever, and your email, and you're going to get a reminder next week that this healthcare Q&A is there.
Don't want to miss it.
Oh, look at the question. David, there are about 15 hostels in Boquete.
A lot of hostels, yeah.
All right, guys. It was fun tonight.
Yeah, really good questions.
Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.